differentiated her compared to everybody else. Just like my daughter Hannah, alam nyo na to, some of you who follow her story, every time she finishes a run, what does she do? She does a cartwheel. Because for almost 7-8 years, she was a champion gymnast before she retired at the age of 10. Nag-retire ng 10. And today, joining triathlons, running events, swimming events, pag nagtatapos siya, siya ang inaabangan ng napakaraming photographer because of her traditional cartwheel. She does a cartwheel at the finish line, no matter how tired she is. And that has established her brand. Diyan siya nakikilala. You know, I just want to mention 2 other companies. Ito, kumpanya naman. You know, there's a site, puntahan nyo to Nerds Fitness. Nerds Fitness. Kasi di ba napakaraming fitness program, fitness campaigns for the people who want to get fit. Meron para sa matataba o meron sa mga athletes, di ba? But there is a site just for nerds. Just for nerds, You should see that site. It's an amazing site. And it's getting a lot of hits para sa aming mga nerds. Yan ang dapat na site for fitness. Tom's Shoes. My daughter Ella buys Tom's Shoes. Hindi ko alam to kinonfirm ko lang kanina. Alam ko they give They make donations, no, to people in need. Pero hindi ko alam. What sets them apart from other shoe companies is that every time you buy 1 pair of shoes from Tom's, they give 1 pair away to a needy community, to a needy person. So, ano yan? 1:1. For every pair that you buy, they give 1 as a donation to somebody in need. 1:1 combination. And this is the reason why a lot of our young people buy their product. Not just because it's comfortable, diba? It's stylish. Because they like the feeling na bawat bili nila, nakakatulong sila sa isa. What will be your differentiator? You have to set up your differentiator compared to everybody else. And finally, position the entire culture. You have to position your entire life behind that differentiator. Anong ibig sabihin nun, Anthony? Ang paboritong definition ng brand, ano bang brand mo? Saka mo makikilala, is a promise delivered. I think this is by Kevin Roberts, Global Head of Saatchi & Saatchi. A promise delivered. Kasi iba dyan, nagpa-promise, di naman nagdi-deliver. Ang iba naman, deliver ng deliver, pero ano bang pinangako? Hindi ko na maintindihan, di ba? Execute na lang na execute. Kung gusto mo magka-brand na ikaw lang, kailangan daw magandang pangako at magandang pag-deliver. Now, you will consistently deliver, okay? You will only consistently deliver kung suportado ka ng tao mo, kung suportado ka ng proseso, kung suportado ka ng sistema, ng buong kumpanya. If the entire culture supports your unique selling proposition, that's a recipe for success. But if they do not support you, culture, sabi ni Global Head for CEO, well, former CEO, Global Head for for Merck, Dick Clark, former CEO, sabi niya, culture eats strategy for lunch. Kahit na ano pang strategy mo, kung ang kulturo mo hindi susuporta dun sa plano mo, matatalo ka. So remember this. For example, This Is It. Remember that production? You should study yung recruitment approach nila sa This Is It. Yung kay Michael Jackson, grabe sila mag-recruit dun For you to be part of this production, you had to look like, think like, feel like, move like Michael Jackson. Libo-libo nag-audition. But you had to live and breathe like Michael Jackson. Napaka-stringent, grabe, napaka-stricto na kanilang recruitment process. Because they wanted to make sure that everybody behind the production was behind the brand. And you know what's amazing? Even when the star, Michael Jackson, passed away, why was it a successful production? Why was it a hit movie? Why? Because the culture, the people that were recruited, all supported the brand. That even when the brand left, panalo pa rin. See? So, the third principle is, kung meron kang brand, meron kang differentiator, meron kang posisyon na gusto mong manalo, kailangan daw suportado ng buong kumpanya. You know, I was asked, Anthony, how do you get your whole family into running? They're hooked into running. What's the secret? Well, what did I say? You run yourself. it has to start with a leader. Right? It has to start with you. You support, your entire life must support the promise that you are making. That's why I want to acknowledge our guest who I believe is here already. Why? When we invited him here, I actually asked him if I should send him the questions myself. Kasi po, kilala natin to, kaibigan natin, kabatch po natin to sa eskwela. Huwag natin pag-usapan ko anong batch, no? But he is my batchmate. I was together with him in grade school, all throughout high school. So sabi ko, siguro gusto ni Noel na akong magpadala ng mga questions just to make sure anong pwede, anong hindi. Sabi ko, normally kasi EP, executive producer, will do that. But in this case, if you want, I'll do it. You know what he told me? Dumaan tayo sa EP. Diba? Dumaan tayo sa proseso. Kung makakatulong yun sa programa, sa flow, then I'm willing to. And that's what happened. And the moment Noel said that, sabi ko, panalo to. Diba? He is willing to submit to the people of his company, even those below, to follow the process in facilitating change. So that is practicing, no? Principle 3, which is position the entire culture, your entire life behind the differentiator. So USP. You get it? To summarize, USP, understand what is important to your target market, set up your differentiator, and position the entire culture behind your differentiator. Then that is your unique selling proposition. Ikaw na. At dahil nandiyan na ang ating guest, break na. Pagbalik po natin, change champion na.
Magbago ako, magbayloon ako, magaling ako sa lugar.
Nagbabalik pong Magbago Tayo. Once again, you can visit us at our Facebook page, Magbago Tayo. That's on Facebook. Also, I have my own page, Anthony Pangilinan, and I'm on Twitter, A Pangilinan. But this is not about me. This is about our change champion this day. And bakit natin napili itong kantang to? Itong kantang itong Warrior is a Child. Because all of us have to step back as warriors. Hindi yan pwedeng panay, diba? Attack. And today, we are stepping back with someone who has been attacking for 7 days and taking a step back to just sit back, magkwentuhan lang tayo with this change champion. By the way, Gary V is a kabatch of our guest today, as he is mine. Let me introduce him to you. He is a BS Chemical Engineering, itong hindi ko alam, graduate of the University of the Philippines. He attended several executive programs from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, Kellogg School of Management in Chicago, and Ashridge Management School in London. Prior to joining TV5, he was vice president for the consumer division of Smart Communications, the flagship mobile phone unit of the Philippine long-distance telephone company. Before working with the PLDT Group, he spent several years in the consumer goods industry with stints at Unilever, both here and abroad. He returned to the Philippines and joined Nutri Asia, the food manufacturing arm of the Campos Group, as its president and chief operating officer. Starting June 1, 2013, he took over TV5 from Ray Espinosa. He is also now the president and chief executive of MediaQuest Holdings Incorporated. MediaQuest is a holding firm of TV5, operator Associated Broadcasting Corporation for Signal, a direct-to-home satellite TV service provider. It gives us great pride and honor to welcome to Magbago Tayo our new boss, Emmanuel C. Lorenzana.
Thank you, Anthony.
Good morning, Noel. 1 week.
Well, it hasn't really been 1 week, you know. I've been on board before that. Back when the guys ask me, "Welcome," you know, how does it feel? I go, you know, it's like going out with the girl, you know. You've been going out, but you formalize the.
Okay. So kilala mo na siya.
Kilala mo na siya.
Yung starting date lang yung June
official.
1.
I mean,
okay.
I can sign legally the papers.
Right,
but you know,
right.
we've been on board, you know, the past month.
So how has it been after 1 month? I mean, if you can describe it in one word, how has it been being CEO of this company after 1 month?
It's just exciting.
Exciting.
Yeah, exciting.
It's exciting,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Not overwhelming, or is it a combination of all these words that?
You know, it's your choice to be overwhelmed. You know, I heard you mention earlier about stepping back. You have to be able to step back. You know, every day, and not only once a week, once a month. You know, you sort of assess where you are in terms of your understanding, in terms of your emotional situation, in terms of your own personal capability, to see the terrain so that you can, navigate through it. So,
Anong natuklasan mo? What have you found out about the terrain after 1 month? The terrain of media and entertainment compared to
yeah.
telecommunications, compared to fast-moving goods, consumer goods, which are the industries you came from before.
I think the one thing I realize is that, things tend to be exaggerated prior to sort of coming in terms of, how things are. In the end, things are...
Siyempre, showbiz to di ba?
There are more, there are more common things. In the end, you're dealing with human beings, and human beings tend to be the same, whether they're corporate, whether it's showbiz. You just need to be sensitive to the, as I always say, sensitive to the person across the table.
Kami from our perspective, we'd like to learn from you. Anong isang bagay? What's one thing that you think tends to be exaggerated about the world of media entertainment na hindi naman ganun ka iba? It's really not that different from the rest of the world. What tends to be overemphasized when it comes to media?
Well, people normally say it's different from the standard corporate world. You just change the titles to vice president, CEOs into how do you call it, talents. And they're human beings. They have needs. They have how do you call it, insecurities. They have egos. They have every human being is the same. It just really depends on the situation that he or she is in.
So going back to that, fast-moving consumer goods, Unilever, di ba? Nutri-Asia, tapos telecommunications, smart. Ngayon, entertainment media. What remains the same? You said people.
People remain the same. It requires leadership. I mean, in the end, I think everybody responds to good leadership or a lack of leadership. So it's all about giving people a sense of direction, so that everybody will follow that direction.
Can I tell you that people were surprised. In fact, one of our teammates here, staffmates, said she almost fell from her chair when she found out that you agreed to.
Yeah.
Suntok sa buwan lang yun. Baka naman pwedeng i-guess natin si Bossing.
Yeah.
And when you responded, why not? That sent a very clear message.
Yeah.
Now, there are different messages, taken by people. But what message did you want to send by saying, sige, let's do it?
I think if you're the leader, you have to be heard by your people. I think it makes a whole lot of difference if people are able to hear from yourself in terms of where you want to take the business forward, where you want to take it. And I think a direct interaction always makes a big difference, right?
But you're on television. Nasa radyo ka din,
Yeah.
di ba? So, ang kausap po ngayon, hindi lang po mga taga TV5. Ang kausap natin, mga taga Channel 2, Channel 7, ang madlang people,
Yeah.
So, what do you think is the message that you would like to share? I mean, of course, we're going to go into details. I mean, why take a platform where you're going to address all of them, no? So, kausap natin ngayon ang viewers, ang listeners, kausap natin ang what is one message you'd like to share? I mean, as you start your role as president.
We're here to provide meaningful programming to people, and we're here to play. We're here to stay.
We're here to play, we're here to stay.
Yeah.
Okay, because yes, that was a
Yeah.
question that some people, lalaban pa ba?
Yeah.
Di ba? Is that a personal thing to you? Na I talk to some people. I also
Yeah.
know you na you're very competitive. Sabi sa akin ni Mutya, hi daw. No? My sister-in-law used to work with Noel, di ba? Hi daw na.
Ayaw mo siya.
Oh, ayaw mo raw matalo sa tennis eh. Lahat daw talaga makalaro mo. Kahit anak mo, tinatalo mo eh.
Hindi na ngayon.
Ay, di na ngayon.
Di na ngayon.
Oh, not because of choice, but because of age.
Because of age, right?
But where does that come from? This competitive spirit of Noel. Saan ang galing to? Is it because you had to survive, or I've seen ever
Yeah.
since high school,
Yeah.
Kabats, you're already competitive, and
Yeah.
I saw you, my if I may tell you, ang
Yeah.
memory ko sa'yo, very focused, walking towards the tennis courts, blasting away,
Yeah.
and then leaving it and focused on your next activity. Where did this come from?
I think a lot of it came from the need to be counted, right? And the thing is, you can't be good in everything, It's in the things that you choose to be able to, contribute, right?
Yeah.
In this case, we were able to contribute to the school that we love, LaSalle, right? During that time, where I was a team captain, I think, modesty aside, I